Did you know that one of the easiest paths to living your ultimate life is spirituality? Yes, indeed it is. And it's very interesting because these two topics that you would think are so different, like spirituality and living your ultimate life, they seem kind of like separate worlds, but they're actually very connected. And they're both very near and dear to my heart. And I want to talk to you about both of them today and really about the marriage of them and how you can be supporting yourselves to live with so much more ease and grace when you really put these two topics together, spirituality and ultimate living. So if you don't know what ultimate living is, it's literally living the life of your wildest dreams. Like if you could have anything you desire, whatever it be, in all realms of life, you never ever settle, and you have everything you want. You live in the home you desire, you have the relationship you desire, and not even that you have one, but the way the relationship is, it's like everything you've ever wanted. Your career is you do exactly what you love. It's the thing that you would do for free. It's literally like checking off the boxes. If you had a blank canvas that you could create any life you desire, that's ultimate living. Now, in order to do that, in order to live your ultimate life, it requires radical responsibility and the knowing that you create every single thing about your life. That in no moment are we ever a victim. That lens through which we see life, the fact that we are creating our reality, that we are responsible for every single thing that happens, even if it seems like it's a bad thing, and even if it was horrible, and even if it was painful, that a part of us was creating that. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more, but this lens of seeing the world is what I call spirituality. The way in which you see the world and live in accordance with the rules of reality is spirituality. Spirituality is giving meaning to things. So if you're choosing to see your life from this lens, that you are creating your life in every moment, then that's where you can say, oh, okay, I'm creating this. Why? With the view of spirituality that I have, it's literally a philosophy. In my opinion, spirituality is a life philosophy. It's the meaning that you give things to in life. It's how you choose to see the world, and it's the rules of life that you choose to operate in. And when you have a framework for how this reality works, I like to say it's almost like a blueprint. When you have a blueprint for how life works, then you know the rules of the game and it's easier to win. So that's why I like working with frameworks, because our mind is constantly going. So if you give your mind something to focus on, like the rules of reality, it really calms down. You worry less, you have less anxiety because you know the rules of the game. You know how this goes. And so what I am passionate about is sharing with you the rules of the game of life. And that's what I call spirituality. And so I call it my spirit school, and it's starting tomorrow, 12/12, December 12th, on this beautiful portal that's coming. And time again, I see people come to me and there's challenges in their life and problems in their life and things aren't going according to plan. And the coaching is always the same of like, what's the lesson? Why is this here? What's the shift? And most of the time, it's different practices within self-care for you to transform so that your life will transform, because our life is just a mirror of ourselves. So I open this video by saying that the fastest path to living your ultimate life is through spirituality, because the moment you understand these frameworks and concepts about life, the sooner you can get things in order, the sooner you can take responsibility and shift the things that are ready to be shifted, change the things that are ready to be changed. And oftentimes it's a belief, it's a mindset, it's the things you say, it's the way that you're responding to situations in life. It's fully you. And even this week I wrote a post about your ego being the problem. And this victim mentality and ego is all connected. It's all part of your ego. It's the part of you that's keeping you small. It's the part of you that's keeping you stuck. Your ego is the part of you that's keeping you in conflict. And there's a whole module dedicated to the ego and helping to break down the ego. Because the moment we step into the truth of who we really are and we have that clarity about what our ultimate life is and we understand the framework of reality, then we can design any life we desire. And we can live with so much ease and grace and joy and less pain. Because oftentimes it's pain that's pushing people. And it's pain that causes people to change. And I'm interested in co-creating a reality where it's not pain that causes us to change, but it's pleasure. It's pleasure that causes us, like, I desire this, so I'm going to shift and evolve and do things differently because I desire that. Not because, oh my God, this is painful, I want to get away from this. So you see the difference. And this shift in how we see the world, in the way we show up, and all of this is so important, not only for ourselves and the ultimate life that we want to create, but for the whole planet. So imagine if everyone was doing this work. Imagine if every person you're in relationship with was on a personal development and spiritual journey. This is how we can absolutely evolve our planet, change our lives, co-create that beautiful heaven on earth that I know that I'm here to help create. And in the spirituality course that I'm starting tomorrow, I share all about how to see life through a new perspective. And once you choose to try on this new way of living and being and thinking and believing, life changes, literally in an instant. The moment you try on a new belief and perspective, you literally see every event in your life completely different. And that is the basis. So because I can't coach all 60,000 of you, right? Like one-to-one, there's not enough time in a day. There's not enough time in general. I've decided to do this year-long of courses. And I take the things that I generally say all the time over and over to my clients in different ways and create this framework that I can share with the masses. So it's, even if you are struggling with specific questions and you're even feeling like, oh my God, no, I really need a one-to-one coach, or I need a therapist, or I need someone to talk to. By listening, you can still receive the healing and the shift and the advice that you're seeking. And when you treat these moments like I'm speaking just to you, and that situation that's going on in your life that's really challenging you, and if you remember that we come to earth to have a human experience, and in having the human experience, we go through situations that help us evolve and change. And if we're not listening when things are smoother, or we're not listening to those inklings and intuitions and things, that's when the pain starts coming. Because if you don't change or evolve or shift when things are good and you get the message, you're here to learn. So if you're not learning with the gentle things, sometimes the knocking on the door becomes a banging. And that's when the pain happens, right? So it's so important, in my opinion, to really take responsibility, see where the challenges are, see where you're contributing, and what's the new mindset? What's the new framework? How can you see it differently in a way that supports you and the situation, so that then you can see it with eyes of gratitude, even like, oh my God, thank God for this. Thank God. And at every level of life, this isn't just like a one and done deal. Every level of life, we're given new lessons and opportunities to grow. That's a spiritual lens through which to see life. So instead of seeing each challenge as a crisis, it's like, oh, wonderful, it's time to learn again. Oh, wonderful. Let me see how I can shift and evolve. Let me see how I can take responsibility for the situation. Let me see how I can see it differently so I could show up differently and have a completely different life experience, one of joy, one of pleasure, one of gratitude. And so it goes deeper than this, right? Like, this is just a general framework. So if you're wondering, like, why am I not living my ultimate life right now? It's like, how is your ego being a problem? How are you not taking responsibility for your life? Where do you feel ready to take responsibility? I'm interested in connecting with people like this, people who are interested in taking responsibility, because guess what? That's the biggest gift. If you know everything is your responsibility, then you know that just by you shifting, everything will change. Just by you deciding and showing up differently, everything will change. And that's the beauty of this work. I love spirituality. I love personal development work. It's my favorite because it's like, oh my gosh, I get to discover new aspects about myself. And even my clients and students are so happy because the moment you learn self-responsibility and different self-care tools, that's why I created a ritual course. That's why I created a meditation course. That's why I created a nutrition course that's also based. So nutrition, meditation, rituals, it's all serving. And now even this course, I realize this one really could have been course number 1 for the year. But if you're in the ultimate year, you get all the courses. So it doesn't really matter the order. But this is almost like the foundation and the blueprint on which everything else works. Like even before you start manifesting, I feel like it's important to understand the laws of the universe, the laws of your soul, and you understand what this reality is about and how you're influencing it in every moment and how you can shift it in every moment. So with that, I invite you inside my spirituality course. We start tomorrow on Sunday, 12/12. It's 11 modules, 11 days, so a module a day. And these are beautiful, informative modules that you can listen to like you're doing a course in school and take notes, or just like a podcast. And you can listen to them over and over and over again because they really go in and reprogram the brain. It's like brainwashing in a good way, right? So that you can have more empowerment and positivity and presence and joy and love in your life. And it's really just like, what's going on here? How are you thinking about the world? How are you believing about it? And I want to show you a really empowering way to see the world and to believe about the world and to believe about yourself and what the whole point of all this is. Like, why are we even here? What's the point of life? What are we doing here? And that's what this course really helps to answer. And I'm so passionate about this topic. I've literally traveled the world on my spiritual and esoteric journey, and it's been so remarkable. And after being a decade of traveling after med school, or even during med school it was happening, but after this decade of travel, it was like, now it's time for me to share everything that I've received. And some of it has been just remembrances of past lives, from my lineage. A lot of my healing gifts and all that come from my soul. And if you learn how to tap into your soul and your spirit, how much more powerful you become is absolutely incredible. So I want to empower you. I want to empower everyone. And I want to give you the tools and the understandings so that life can happen with more ease and grace for you. And so throughout the month of December, you'll be able to join into this course. Of course, if you join now, you get to catch me live just like this, and you can ask your questions in real time. And yeah, I look forward to sharing this with you. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to see the world completely different in such a beautiful new way, an empowering way. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. The link is in my bio. And I look forward to having you for spirituality. And so with that, I'm Dr. Nikki Starr. I send you so much love. Remember, spirituality is one of the paths, the fastest paths to living your ultimate life, and to live it in a way that feels really good and centered and aligned and at peace in your heart. And that's most important too, that you're doing it from a moral and ethical place that feels really good and empowering. And with that, I send you so much love. I wish you a beautiful day. I thank you for showing up, for doing this great work. Even by listening to this live, there was a transmission within it, and I trust a piece of it touched you in some way. And I'd love to support you in a deeper way. And so with that, I love you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.